All right, welcome back to the Finn Dog Farms channel. I'm Finn, and welcome back to our Family Legacy Farm Challenge here on Riverbend Springs. And something is not right. We closed out August with $70,000, and here we are we just got to September and we've got $29,000. 51, maybe is the loan payment higher than I think it is? That says my total loan payment is 46,291. What, pray tell, came out of our account? Contract income. I'm gonna have to go look at my tracker and see what came out of that. So I jumped over and looked at my transaction log, and I guess as best I can tell, the vehicle running cost, which will be the repair cost, came out after I closed out the month. So maybe that's the way that works. Maybe actually I probably need to be in that tractor. Maybe that's the way that works. Maybe that doesn't come out. That was about $5,000, and that's really the difference. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking that $70,000 would cover me for 2 months of those loan payments, but it wouldn't. Cover me for a little over a month, but it would not cover me for 2 months. So you know what? Let's jump in here and let's check our animals. I checked them last night before I went to bed just to make sure they were all good, make sure I didn't run any of them. So you guys can see our animals are at full health here, which means if they drop down to 0, we're done. We failed the challenge. Wow, the sheep ate almost all of that meadow overnight. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to get them some grass today. Gosh dang. Cows are full. Wow, they used what, 15,000 liters of feed. I filled them up to, they had 25,000 liters of TMR. And I've only got, what have I got? I've got 140,000 liters of TMR, so I can feed them for a few months. I can sell mineral feed if I have to, because I'm not really using that. The TMR doesn't need it. But anyway, we've got grass to harvest today. So we got a busy September, guys, at least to start off with. We've got 2 grass fields to mow and bale. So we're going to get on that and get that done. We've got 2 fields to seed. 3 fields to seed. My bad. 3 fields to seed. I think I don't know if I'm going to seed them with grass or not. I may plant one of them with grain. May plant one of them. So wheat, canola, and barley, I think, is what we can plant this time of year. So we may go ahead and plant those. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing here, because this is not the tractor that I want. I want this tractor because I have got to mow. And so we're gonna flip this guy around and put the weight in the garage. I need to go pick up those other 2 weights because I've got weights scattered all over the damn farm. Anyway, we're going to put this guy in the garage. Head over to the other garage. Pick up our mower. We are going to jump over into field number it is, field 1, field 2, whatever that one is. We're going to jump over into that other field and we are going to mow. get that mower out of there. I'm not really sure how I got it in there. Maybe that's not turned out to be as difficult as I thought it was. We got a lot of work to do. It's going to take us most of the day since we are not allowed to hire workers in the field program. So again, we can only hire workers for harvest. At least right now, until I get tired of that and decide to change my mind. I'm not there yet, so hopefully this field is a bit of a different shape than it was in the old Riverbend Springs. Get out here where I can see behind the tractor. I can see what's going on. Lower that. Front mower. Front mower. Lower the front mower. Turn off the front mower. Steering assist. Why not? Let's do two headlights. Yep, I wish this was a swapping mower, but that's alright. So guys, we're going to go ahead and mow this field. We're actually just going to go ahead and mow both fields. And we're going to mow it, we're going to windrow it. And I'll bring you guys back in probably for the baling. Probably at least start you guys off with the baling. Bring you guys in for the start of the baling. And then we'll see from there. Alright, I'll bring you guys back in when it's time to bail. Alright everyone, welcome back into the farm. You guys can see it is still September and we are headed over to field number 1 to bale some grass. Told you guys I was going to bring you back in when it was time to bale, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what the hell? It's still September and you haven't even baled yet. How long will it take to mow? Well, so here's what we've done. Yes, we mowed these two fields. We mowed them. We windrowed one of them. We didn't actually windrow both of them. But then it dawned on me that if I'm going to have any chance of success in this challenge, I have got to maximize. I've got to maximize the yields of these fields. So I decided that I had to get the fields planted. I had to get something planted in the field to pick up on this baler sucks. I had to get something planted in the fields. So I mowed, I windrowed, I stopped, and I started fielding. So on our 3 fields that we harvested in August, I cultivated them, I limed them, and I seeded them with alfalfa. Those fields are done. I just now finished them up, and here I am now at the baler, coming to pick up some grass bales. This might take longer than I thought it was going to, because I'm not going to make 2 passes on those things, because the baler is not wide enough to pick up the whole windrow here. So I guess a good problem to have. That means there's a ton of grass here. And guys, we're going to need every penny that we have can get our hands on. So quick housekeeping. Man, I tell you what, I was starting to think this challenge was going to be next to impossible with a loan of nearly $50,000 a month. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, how can the loan payment be that high? That's over $500,000 a year that I'm paying. That doesn't add up. I got a $1.5 million loan. I got to pay it back in 5 years. How can I be paying $500,000 a year? So I went and looked, and lo and behold, when I set the loan up, when I set this challenge up, and set the loan up for this playthrough. I set the loan duration for 3 years, not 5 years. So I went back and fixed that. We still have a $1.5 million loan, although now we actually have it set to pay off after 5 years, which lowered our payment by about $18,000 a month, which is actually going to make a huge difference because, to be honest with you guys, I was starting to wonder if this challenge is even going to be possible. Because as I was looking at it, I was thinking, man, I don't know that I can generate that much money with the land that I have. I'm going to have more land. I'm going to have, and I certainly was not going to be able to do it with all the parameters I set. So what's making this truly challenging, going to make this truly a challenge, is the stipulation that I set that all of the field work has to be done by me. I did allow for an AI worker. When I harvest, I can have an AI worker to drive the combine, and if I need one, I can have an AI worker to drive the semi to, if it's far enough away that I feel like I need the semi to take grain to my silo, or if I'm doing a harvesting contract and I need the semi to shuttle grain to the subway as I work the field, then I can hire a worker for that. Other than that, field work has to be done by me. And as I was doing the field work for those fields in September, that was proving to be a challenge because that field work was time consuming, which is why I'm out here bailing in the dark. That's why we're out here bailing in the dark. It took us all that one day to do the field work. Took us all day to do the cultivating, the liming, and the seeding. So we need to get back over here. I actually kicked around not bailing this grass until October. And I don't know, I'm going to see. So actually it's getting late in September. I'm going to have to figure out a way to produce some revenue for September because even though we lower our loan payment, it's $28,000 a month. You guys can see we got just over 27. It's just over $28,000, something between 28. So you guys can look there and see that we've got just over 27, not quite $28,000 in our bank account. So that is not going to get it done. If we jump in the house and go to sleep tonight in September, we're going to fail this challenge because we will not have enough money to cover September's loan payments. So I actually think what I'm going to do is once I wrap up this last little bit of bailing career, which is going to be interesting because I'll have to come back and pick up some stragglers and I'll be interested in the farm. Anyway, once I get that done, I'm going to jump in the tractor by the end of the tractor. I'm going to take the tractor over and drop off the baler, and I'm going to pick up the grain cart. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell my minerals. I've got mineral feed in the mixing silo for my TMR, but honestly, we don't need mineral feed for TMR. Technically, we don't need straw either, although I am going to keep the straw. I'm going to keep the straw in the straw mix because you can make 20% more mineral feed, the same 20% more TMR, the same amount of grass. Straw. So might as well keep that straw in there. And if I have straw, if I don't have straw, then I'll make TMR without straw. And don't lose any sleep about it. If I have the straw, I might as well include it in the TMR. We'll take advantage of that extra 20%. Gosh, we've got islands of grass. Probably should be I I didn't windrow this with a header road. It's much easier to pick up like this. So I may sacrifice some grass. Not gonna worry about it. Looks like there's gonna push that bed on. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick up that last road there and probably just do whatever I don't pick up in this session. Will actually be here the next time I come and cut it and pick it up. In Farm Sim 25, you can actually mow grass several times and not pick it up. Each time you mow, the grass from the last time is still there, and the grass from the current mow just lays down on top of it, and you have other harvest. Anyway, we're gonna pick up a little bit of this straggling grass and get this dark, and I'm gonna try to find it all. You know what I have to do? So I can squeeze out this last little bale here. And this is gonna be an exercise in patience. Just about 1,000 meters. Is that right now? Just about. Yeah. You know, I didn't even think to look. I don't know how big these bales are. Maybe they're 6,000 meters. Something like that. Somewhere in that neighborhood. There's 5,100 meters. Oh, there it rolled over. We're going to jump over here. Stop right here. Fold it, pick it up, back to the farm. And that's pretty much going to be it, I think, for, oh no, it's not going to be for September. I was about to say that's going to be for September, but if I don't get here and do something and put some cash in that, we are not going to be able to do our September loan payment, and if that happens, then we fail this challenge. The other thing I need to do before I at least before I put September in the books, is I need to make sure all my animals are fed. Make sure all the animals are fed. Yeah, before we close out September, we gotta make sure the animals are fed. So I'm gonna go find the grain trailer. Actually, you know what? First of all, I'm gonna jump into my productions here, although it's not really changing anything. We're not really doing anything because I don't have. But you guys can see right now I've got the active where it takes hay, silage, straw, and mineral feed. So we're going to deactivate that. We're going to turn this guy on. It takes turn this guy on. It takes hay, silage, and straw. That way when we get grass in here, which we will in October, put more grass in there and you can start pumping out TMR again, then it won't be missing. Man, I gotta tell you, this trailer is finicky hooking up to this tractor. Just finicky hooking up to this tractor. Oh, that's my dog. Thought one of my sheep was loose there for a second. Alright, so we're going to zip around here. We've also got pig food in our silo. We got pig food that we can sell. Anyway, right now we're going to pull up in here and we are going to unload some feed. Jump in here. Oh, you know what? Also about that. Let's go in. Pig food's actually peaked right now, so we've actually got Oh, we got $12,000 worth of milk. Hell, that's what I should sell. The slurry, we got pig food, total mixed ration. Can't sell the total mixed ration because I need that for the cows. So I do have to go back in here and get this different way because I don't have that. Since the mineral feed is in the production silo, it doesn't just show that to me in my fermenting silo. Well, I can't sell it there. Grain silo number 2. That's right down the road from us. I know where that's at. 1235, 1281 in grain tower. Where's that at? Where's that at? That's a little further than we want to go because the grains. Boy, I didn't know that it's that much further. Make sure that I'm thinking what I'm thinking. Yeah, that other place is about twice as far, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that one's right there on the other side. So we'll take it right there. Gonna take it right there. So we'll sit down here. Sell this little mineral feed. We're gonna, once we sell this mineral feed, guys, we'll put a wrap on September and bring you guys back in October. So we're gonna get down here. We're gonna sell some mineral feed. We'll put the trailer. We'll park the trailer in the tractor, and then we'll jump in the house and get some sleep. And we'll pick you guys back up in October.